Have you ever experienced someone wanting to tear you down or wanting your position or wanting to ruin your reputation for no apparent reason? I've been there many times where I've dealt with people in my life trying to tear me down, come against me, fight me, mock me, ruin my reputation, all for the sake of wanting what I have, all for the sake of wanting to do better than me, all for the sake of wanting to feel like they're in control. The interesting thing that I've learned over the course of years with dealing with these type of people is that all of these people are dealing with what we call insecurity. They have an insecurity of not succeeding. They have an insecurity of not being heard. They have an insecurity of not being seen. They have an insecurity of not being chosen. They have an insecurity of missing out. They have an insecurity of the level of attention that you garner, or they have an insecurity about the amount of money you make, or they have an insecurity about all different types of things. More times than not, these people are operating out of a place of hate, out of a place of jealousy, and out of a place of covetousness. The Lord has taught me over the course of time that the cure to these type of people's behavior isn't to fight fire with fire. If someone's conspiring to take you out, your response to that as a servant of God isn't to try to take them out as well. Your response to that has to be rooted within love, compassion, and mercy. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what you talking about? If somebody trying to take me out, somebody lying on my name, somebody coming at me, why would I show them love, compassion, or mercy? You would show them love, compassion, and mercy because you don't know what is causing this person to operate the way they're operating with you, because you don't know what this person has been through. You don't know all the days they woke up and nobody showed them any attention. You don't know about all the days and the times where nobody cared to listen to their voice or value or respect their voice. You don't know how long a person has struggled or been living in poverty, that every time that they see somebody else have something that they wish that they can have access to, how much it burns them inside, how much it hurts that people have access to privileges or luxuries in life that they can only wish or imagine that they can have. You don't know what causes someone to be the way that they are towards you, because more times than not, you are in the position of being a victim to their bad behavior or their outpour of insecurity or hate or jealousy or envy or lies. You are put in a position of being a victim of these things. However, you're not the root problem of why they are operating the way they're operating. You may just be someone carrying something or living in something or being something that triggers something inside of them. You following me? Today, I want to share with you, watching this video, a chapter in the book of Samuel, chapter 24, where it highlights David sparing Saul's life. To give you just a quick little background about who David is and who Saul is, David was a shepherd boy that was anointed by a prophet named Samuel, that one day he was going to succeed the king at the time named Saul. Through this prophecy being spoken over David, David had went to Saul. He played an instrument and sang a song for Saul while he was in distress to serve his king. And it actually calmed Saul down. Saul seen immense value in David. He wanted to continue to hear David's voice and continue to have David playing an instrument for him when he needed his entertainment and his pleasure. Through that, he didn't know that Samuel, who served the king Saul, who anointed Saul at a previous time, he didn't know that Samuel went and anointed David to become the next king to succeed Saul. Moral of the story is Saul had a lot of internal insecurity, a lot of problems with pride and with envy and fear of losing what he's put his identity in, fear of losing power and control, fear of the people not reverencing him, fearing him, respecting him, the same way that they respected David. David was someone who defeated a giant named Goliath. Most people know about the story of David and Goliath. David did something that even the king himself wasn't brave enough to do, or his army brave enough to do. He defeated a giant named Goliath. Through defeating Goliath, David gained a lot of popularity. He garnered a lot of respect and influence from the people in the kingdom at the time. Over the course of time, as David began to grow in more responsibility than just being an entertainer, he became a foot soldier. He became a fighter for Saul's army. Saul began to receive visions from God. He seen that his time was coming up. Through these visions, God showed him that David was the one that Samuel anointed to succeed him. It caused him to feel afraid. It caused him to feel jealous. It caused him to feel hatred towards David. That hatred led to Saul attempting to take David's life. We see here in chapter 24 the story of how God delivered Saul into David's hand. Instead of David choosing to take the life of Saul, he decided to spare the life of Saul. The reason being is because he loved his king. He felt compassion for why his king felt the way he felt. Here's the kicker. He had mercy for his king, because we talked about how if someone's trying to take your life, why would you not try to take their life so that they don't take your life? He was a representation of God's own heart in the way that God moves with us. Even though we do things that are wrong, even though we feel a way about God choosing this person and not choosing you, or God promoting this person, you're not getting a promotion, or God blessing this person with a marriage, you're not married yet, or God blessing this person to be able to have children, you're not fertile yet. Even though we operate like Saul in our life many times, God still shows us love, compassion, even to the extent of us attempting to do something intentionally to hurt someone else or cause a bad reputation for someone else or the downfall of someone else. God has this one thing for us as well, which is mercy. Though we deserve a punishment for our actions or our behaviors, he decides to have mercy on us in order for us to come to know what true love really looks like in action. So we see here through chapter 24 of the book of Samuel what that love in action looks like. I want to read a part of it so that you guys can come into the understanding of the story and the context of it. Let's do that. It says, after Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, he was told David is in the desert of En-Gedi. Saul took 3,000 able young men from all Israel and set out to look for David and his men near the crags of the wild goats. He came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself. David and his men were far back in the cave. The men said, "This is the day the Lord spoke of when he said, 'To you I will give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with as you wish.'" Then David crept up unnoticed and cut off a corner of Saul's robe. Afterwards, David was concise stricken for having cut off a corner of his robe. He said to his men, "The Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to my master, the Lord's anointed, or lay my hand on him, for he is the anointed of the Lord." With these words, David sharply rebuked his men and did not allow them to attack Saul. And Saul left the cave and went his way. Then David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, "My lord, the king." When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. He said to Saul, "Why do you listen when men say, 'David is bent on harming you'? This day you have seen with your own eyes how the Lord delivered you into my hands in the cave. Some urged me to kill you. I spared you. I said, 'I will not lay my hand on my Lord, because he is the Lord's anointed.' See, my father, look at this piece of your robe in my hand. I cut off the corner of your robe, but did not kill you. See that there is nothing in my hand to indicate that I am guilty of wrongdoing or of rebellion. I have not wronged you. You are hunting me down to take my life. May the Lord judge between you and me. May the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me. My hand will not touch you. As the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds. So my hand will not touch you. Against whom has the king of Israel come out? Who are you pursuing? A dead dog? A flea? May the Lord be our judge and decide between us. May he consider my cause and uphold it. May he vindicate me by delivering me from your hand." When David finished saying this, Saul asked, "Is that your voice, David, my son?" He wept aloud. "You are more righteous than I," he said. "You have treated me well. I have treated you badly. You have just now told me about the good you did to me. The Lord delivered me into your hands. You did not kill me. When a man finds his enemy, does he let him get away unharmed? May the Lord reward you well for the way you treated me today. I know that you will surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel will be established in your hands. Now swear to me by the Lord that you will not kill off my descendants or wipe out my name from my father's family." David gave his oath to Saul. Then Saul returned home. David and his men went up to the stronghold. We see here that in return for David showing love, compassion, and mercy to the king, that the king decided to let go of his hatred for David, let go of the attempts on his life, and to stop pursuing taking the life of David. He realized that through David showing the opposite of what he would do, which is love, compassion, and mercy, the King Saul had none of those three things when it pertained to anyone he viewed as his enemy or anyone who came against him. David showed the heart of God in a moment where he could have easily showed the heart of man, which is Saul in this representation. The heart of man is filled with a lot of wickedness, a lot of hatred, a lot of evilness. Verse 13, it says, as the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds. My hand will not touch you. Our flesh is wicked, it's evil. It causes us to do evil things to people. When we're operating in our spirit instead of our flesh, the Holy Spirit leads us to do things that God would do in situations of dealing with evil. The way that God deals with evil is aggressively. He deals with it in an aggressive way. The aggressive way is by reinforcing love. Love, compassion, mercy. I understand the contents of your heart and what would cause you to want to kill me. I understand the contents of your heart, your circumstance, of what would cause you to be jealous of me. I understand the contents of your heart that will cause you to envy me, to want what I have, or to be afraid of losing all you've known. I understand what will put you in the position to act and behave this way. I don't view you as a person that is too far gone. I view you as a person who just needs help and needs love. David represented God's love in this equation. It's important for us to do the same when it pertains to people who come against us in our life. Maybe they have a problem with the fact that you were chosen when they weren't chosen. Maybe they have a problem with the fact that you have M's in your bank account. They got $0 in their bank account at the moment. Maybe they have a problem with the fact that you have transportation and they don't have transportation. It may be like we all may be put in positions of having something or being accomplished in things that the next person may not have. Just because someone operates out of a place of envy, jealousy, or hatred, that does not mean that you are to respond to that envy, jealousy, or hatred with those same things. You respond with love, compassion, and mercy, because that's you going deeper and understanding what's causing them to behave the way they are. I just wanted to share this message with you guys today. I hope that this message was a blessing for you guys. If it was, make sure you share this video with somebody who needs to hear this. Until next time, I'll see you again. Stay blessed.